Hi children, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is the second video of the video series partial fractions. Here we are going to discuss about repeated factors. If you want to see much educational video, please subscribe my channel and click on the bell icon. What is repeated factors? Before we learn about repeated factors, if you are new to this video series, please refer the first video. I will put the link at the description box below, and as well as it will pop up as a suggestion video. Right. The first theory we need to learn how to perform partial fraction for a case of a repeated factors. That is what we are going to point out in this video. If you repeat it to the example given over here, 6x minus 2 over x minus 3 into x plus 1, the denominator is x minus 3 and x plus 1. That is only repeated once. But if you consider the case 6x minus 2 over x minus 3 into x plus 1 squared, here if you split the denominator, you can understand that is x minus 3 x plus 1 into x plus 1. That means x minus 3 is repeated once, but x plus 1 has repeated twice. So in that case, the second example, you can see it's a repeated factor is available in the denominator. This kind of situations we call as partial fractions with repeated factors. Then let's see how to solve this kind of a question. What is the theory for repeated factors? Then if you get the case 1, you can see if you simplify the two algebraic fractions, 4 over x minus 3 plus 2 over x plus 1 squared, you will receive the answer 4x squared plus 10x minus 2 over x minus 3 over x plus 1 squared. Therefore, if you take 4x squared plus 10x minus 2 divided by x minus 3 into x plus 1 squared and make them into partial fraction, you should receive it as a over x minus 3 plus b over x plus 1 squared. If you come up with the case number 2, then if you add 4 over x minus 3 plus 3 over x plus 1 plus 2 over x plus 1 squared, and if you simplify, you will get 7x squared plus 4x minus 11 over x minus 3 into x plus 1 squared. Therefore, if you make the partial fraction for 7x squared plus 4x plus 1 over x minus 3 into x plus 1 squared, you should receive the terms as a over x minus 3 plus 3 over x plus 1, or whatever the c or any digit over x plus 1 plus b over x plus 1 squared. Now we come across a problem with if you get some partial fractions with repeated factors. Sometimes the denominator may be just like in the case 1. If you consider 4x squared plus 10x minus 2 over x minus 3 into x plus 1 squared, you get only two denominators, x minus 3 and x plus 1 squared. But if you refer to the second case, it is x minus 3 x plus 1 into x plus 1 squared. Therefore, when you are having such question, how to identify what is the proper way of writing these partial fraction terms? That is what we are going to focus on this chapter. Therefore, when you are writing a partial fractions with a repeated denominator, just like 7x squared plus 4x plus 1 over x minus 3 into x plus 1 squared, we should write all the minimal orders of the repeated term. For example, if you get the repeated term as x plus 1 squared, we should write all the minimal ordered terms of x plus 1 squared. What are the minimal terms of x plus 1 squared? Is power 2. So we need to write x plus 1 as a one denominator and x plus 1 squared as the other denominator. For example, if you get 2 over x plus 1 squared, we should write a over x plus 1 plus b over x plus 1 squared. If you get another example, if you write 2 over x plus 1 cube, you have to write all the minimal orders. You have to write a over x plus 1 plus b over x plus 1 squared plus c over x plus 1 cube. When you're working out with this, some terms get cancelled out. It doesn't matter. In further simplification, we will try to understand how to omit the terms where it's not available with such denominators. That is what we are learning under terms with minimal orders. You will get a better idea in future slides. If we get this example, we have to find the partial fractions for 7x squared plus 4x minus 11 over x minus 3 into x plus 1 squared. Here the repeated factor is x plus 1 squared. Therefore, when you divide this into partial fraction terms, first denominator we have to consider as x minus 3, and there is a repeated one, x plus 1 squared. Therefore, you have to write all the minimal orders of x plus 1 squared. Then I will write it as b over x plus 1 plus e over x plus 1 squared. Suppose that if you get a denominator like x minus 3 into x plus 1 cube, in that case how to write it? You have to write it as a over x minus 3 plus b over x plus 1 c over x plus 1 squared plus d over x plus 1 cube. Right, so hopefully you get some clear idea. After that, we use the same proceeding as what we have learned in our previous video. Then take the LCM for the right hand side. So if you take the LCM, the first term the denominator is x minus 3, the second term the denominator is x plus 1, third term the denominator is x plus 1 squared. Therefore, the LCM will turn up into x minus 3 into x plus 1 cube. Right. Then if you simplify with this, so we have to see whether at which number a should be multiplied to see whether how many x minus 3 terms are available with this denominator x minus 3 into x plus 1 cube, x plus 1 squared, sorry. How to find it? Just cover that denominator from this denominator. If you cover x minus 3 from x minus 3 into x plus 1 squared, remaining term is x plus 1 squared. Therefore, a is multiplied with x plus 1 squared. Then b, cover x plus 1 from this denominator. If you cover 1x plus 1, remaining is x minus 3 and another x plus 1. Therefore, b should multiply with x minus 3 into x plus 1. Now, if you come up with the last term, the denominator is x plus 1 squared. So, if you cover x plus 1 squared from this denominator, remaining is x minus 3. Therefore, multiply c with x minus 3. Then, you can write, since the denominators are same, you can simply say x squared plus 4x minus 11 is equals to a times of x plus 1 squared plus b times of x minus 3 into x plus 1 plus c into x minus 3. Then after that, to find a, b, c, we can use the method of substitution or method of equating coefficients. Let's try to understand how to use these techniques to find the value for a, b and c. Right. As a first step, we will try to understand how to use the method of substitution. We get much of clear examples in our first video anyway. If you use the method of substitution, you can use the previous last step what we have ended up with this question. 7x squared plus 4x minus 11 is equals to a times of x plus 1 squared, b times of x minus 3 into x plus 1 plus c times of x minus 3. Then if you substitute x equals to 3 into this expression, you can simply understand that b into x minus 3, 3 minus 3 turn up to 0, so that b term get cancelled. Then c into 3 minus 3, c into 0, that term also get cancelled, and you get some expression independent from b and c and only with a. With that, if you do the substitution, you will receive, if you substitute 3 into the left hand side, 7 times of 3 squared plus 4 times of 3 minus 11 equals to 8 times of 3 plus 1 whole thing squared plus b into 3 minus 3 into 3 plus 1 plus c into 3 minus 3. With that terms get cancelled and you will get the answer 64 equals to 16a. You just work out and try to understand. There you get the answer a equals to 4. Then the same technique we use, if you substitute x equals to minus 1, you can understand that if you substitute minus 1, a into x plus 1, minus 1 plus 1, that term turn up into 0. b into minus 1 minus 3, but other one is minus 1 plus 1. From there it turn up to 0 and a and b both terms get cancelled over here. With that you will get a term independent from a and b. With this substitution you will obtain minus 8 equals to minus 4c. With that you will get the answer for c equals to 2. Right. Now we need to find the answer for B. To find the answer for B, we want to make the term independent from A and C. But we cannot find a term where you can cancel both A and B at, A and C at once. Therefore, we can substitute any figure we like. So, when you do the substitution, don't go with much of complex values, just like 0, 1, 2, just like figures you want to substitute. But remember that those substitution must be the substitutions what you have used in previous steps. Then I will substitute x equals to 0, since it's very easy for me to do this calculation. If you substitute 0, you will obtain the answer minus 11 equals to a minus 3b minus 3c. For the moment, we already know the value for a and c. Then we can substitute a and c into this equation. You will obtain the answer b as 3. Then we can write the expression as 7x squared plus 4x minus 11 over x minus 3 into x plus 1 squared equals to 4 over x minus 3 plus 3 over x plus 1 plus 2 over x plus 1 squared. Hopefully you understood how to use the method of substitution to get the answers for A, B and C. Now for the same question, let's try to understand how to use the method of equating coefficients. We'll start with the same expression, 7x squared plus 4x minus 11 equals to a times of x plus 1 squared plus b times of x minus 3 into x plus 1 plus c times of x minus 3. This is the step where we have finished up at the not the previous slide, the slide previous to that. From there only we are using, that is from that point only we are deviating the method of using substitution and method of equating coefficients. Then if you simplify the right hand side, you will obtain the answer 7x squared plus 4x minus 11 equals to a times of, if you remove the bracket or expand the bracket x plus 1 squared, you will receive x squared plus 2x plus 1 plus b times of, if you expand the brackets x minus 3 into x plus 1, x squared minus 2x minus 3 and c times of x minus 3. Then if you consider the terms relative for x squared, what are the x squared terms? A and b, a plus b. The terms relative for x, what are the terms? 2a minus 2b and plus 1c. With that you can write minus 2a 2a minus 2b plus cx. Constant terms, if you isolate, a minus 3b minus 3c. With that you can equate the coefficient of x squared from left hand side to right hand side. If from the left hand side 7x squared, that is 7, equals to right hand side a plus b x squared, that is a plus b. So you can write 7 equals to a plus b. If you consider the x terms, 4 equals to 2a minus 2b plus c. If you consider the constant terms, that will turn up into minus 11 equals to a minus 3b minus 3c. You can use the help of your calculator. Go to mode and select the simultaneous equations with 3 variables ax, by, c, z equals to d format. With that you can enter these figures. First equation is x plus y equals to 7. Therefore you can put 1, 1, 0 and 7. Then after that enter the information as shown in the this video. With that you can obtain the answers for first variable a, the second variable b and third variable c. With that you can receive the answers as shown in the video. So you will obtain the answers for a is 4, b is 3 and c is 2. Hopefully you understood. Therefore we can write 7x squared plus 4x minus 11 over x minus 3 into x plus 1 squared is equals to 4 over x minus 3 plus 3 over x plus 1 plus 2 over x plus 1 squared. If you come up with this example, we need to find the partial fractions for 4x squared plus 10x minus 2 over x minus 3 into x plus 1 squared. Therefore you can break the partial fraction terms as a over x minus 3 and b over x plus 1 plus c over x plus 1 squared. Because the repeated term is x plus 1 squared, you have to write with the minimal terms of x plus 1 squared. With that same way, you have to simplify the right hand side. Take the LCM. LCM is x minus 3 into x plus 1 squared. With that, remember that if you are confusing with how to find the relative terms for A, B, C, just expand the brackets. If you write the like expanded version of these brackets, x minus 3 into x plus 1 and x plus 1, there should be x minus 3 and 2x plus 1 terms. Then the term with A is, the denominator A is x minus 3, so cover x minus 3 from x minus 3 into x plus 1 into x plus 1. So you can say x plus 1 into x plus 1 squared remaining. With that you can write A into x plus 1 squared. B, the denominator is x plus 1. If you cover x plus 1, another x plus 1 and x plus 3 is remaining. With that you can write B into x minus 3 into x plus 1. C, the denominator is x plus 1 squared, so cover x plus 1 squared into x plus 1 from the denominator. The remaining is x minus 3, therefore C into x minus 3. With that you can obtain the answer 4x squared plus 10x minus 2 equals to A times of x plus 1 squared plus B times of x minus 3 into x plus 1 plus C times of x minus 3. Then you can use the method of substitution or method of equating coefficient to find the value for A, B and C. I prefer to use the method of substitution for this question. Therefore, if you start from 4x squared plus 10x minus 2 equals to A times of x plus 1 squared plus B times of x minus 3 into x plus 1 plus C times of x minus 3. You can understand that if you substitute x equals to 3, you can cancel B and C terms. How it cancels? If you put 3 into x minus 3, turn up to 0. So B into 0 turn up to 0. C into x minus 3, that is C into 3 minus 3 turn up into C into 0. With that you can get the term independent from B and C. With that you can get an answer for A. With that you will obtain the answer A is equals to 4. Then if you substitute x equals to minus 1 into this bracket, you can see that A into minus 1 plus 1 squared, that term turn up to 0, so A term get cancels. B into x minus 3, other than that 1 minus 3, minus 1 minus 3, minus 1 plus 1, that term turn up to 0, therefore this term get cancelled out with, the B term get cancelled out with this a substitution of x equals to minus 1. But you can get the answer independent from A and B, and you can obtain the answer for C. If you do the substitution, you will obtain minus 8 equals to minus 4C. With that you can get the answer C equals to 2. Right. Now the third case is we cannot do a substitution to cancel out entire A and C terms at once. Therefore I will substitute any figure rather than that what I have substituted in the previous step. So I prefer to substitute x equals to 0. If you substitute 0, you will obtain the answer as minus 2 equals to A minus 3B minus 3C. With that you can say, we know the answer for A and C. A is 4 and C is 2. So you can write minus 2 equals to 4 minus 3B minus 6. With that, if you do the simplification, you will obtain the answer B is equals to 0. This is the point you have to understand that. So since B equals to 0, you can simply cancel out B over x plus 1. So therefore, if you do this simplification, you will obtain the answer for 7x squared plus 4x minus 11 over x minus 3 into x plus 1 squared is equals to 4 over x minus 3 plus 2 over x plus 1 squared. Therefore, the term B over x plus 1 term get cancels. Therefore, it's considering all the minimal orders of x plus 1 squared, and if you do the simplification, doesn't matter, you will obtain the final answer in correct way. So when you write in the partial fraction, remember that you are write terms with all minimal orders with the repeated factors. Hopefully you can understand what I am saying in this video. In this example, we need to find the partial fractions for 11x squared plus 14x plus 5 over 2x plus 1 into x plus 1 squared. According to this question, you can write the partial fraction terms as a over 2x plus 1 plus b over x plus 1 plus c over x plus 1 squared. The repeated term is x plus 1 squared, therefore I used to write all the minimal terms of x plus 1 squared as x plus 1 into x plus 1 squared. Then if you simply simplify the right hand side, you will obtain the answer as 11x squared plus 14x plus 5 over 2x plus 1 into x plus 1 squared equals to a times of x plus 1 squared plus b times of 2x plus 1 into x plus 1 plus c times of 2x plus 1 over x minus 3 into x plus 1 squared. Hopefully, how to obtain this expression I have explained in previous two examples. Now, if you are quite familiar with these sections, then since the denominators are same, you can simply write 11x squared plus 14x plus 5 equals to a times of x plus 1 squared plus b times of 2x plus 1 into x plus 1 plus c into 2x plus 1. If we use the method of substitution, the expression turn up into 11x squared plus 14x plus 5a x plus 1 squared plus b 2x plus 1 into x plus 1 plus c 2x plus 1. With that, if you substitute x equals to minus half, you can understand that b into 2x plus 1 term turn up to 0. Therefore, the b term get cancels. C into 2x plus 1 term, if you substitute minus half in x, that term also turn up to 0 and that term get cancels. Therefore, you can obtain an expression independent from b and c. If you do the substitution, you substitute and c, you will understand that 3 over 4 equals to a over 4. With that, you can obtain the answer for a as 3. Then similarly, if you do the substitution, x equals to minus 1. A into minus 1 plus 1, that term turn up to 0, and b into 2x plus 1 doesn't make any interfere with this minus 1, but minus 1 plus 1, the other term turn up to 0, therefore that term also turn up to 0. Then we can obtain an answer independent from a and b. If you do the substitution, you will obtain minus c equals to 2. With that, you can write c equals to minus 2. Similarly, in the previous question, there is no other term where you can make an expression independent from a and c both. Therefore, I will use the substitution x equals to 0. With that, you will obtain the answer 5 equals to 3 plus b minus 2. With that, you can obtain the answer b equals to 4. Then you can write the final answer as 11x squared plus 14x plus 5 over 2x plus 1 into x plus 1 squared equals to 3 over 2x plus 1 plus 4 over x plus 1 minus 2 over x plus 1 squared. Here we are going to apply method of equating coefficient for the same question. If you start from the expression 11x squared plus 14x plus 5 equals to a times of x plus 1 squared plus b times of 2x plus 1 into x plus 1 plus c times of 2x plus 1. So if you simplify the right hand side, if you expand the bracket x plus 1 squared, it will turn up to x squared plus 2x plus 1 into a plus b times of, if you expand the brackets 2x plus 1 into x plus 1, turn up into 2x squared plus 3x plus 1 plus c times of 2x plus 1. With that, if you isolate square terms, it will turn up to a plus 2b times of x squared. If you get the x terms, 2a 3b plus 2cx. Constant sum, if you isolate, a plus b plus c. Then if you equate the coefficient of x squared, you will obtain the answer. Left hand side is 11, right hand side is a plus 2b, x squared terms. With that, you can write 11 equals to a plus 2b. Then x terms, left hand side 14, right hand side 2a, 3b and 2c. With that, 14 equals to 2a plus 3b plus 2c. And if you consider the coefficient constant terms, 5 equals to a plus b plus c. With that, if you substitute in the calculator, you can obtain the answers a equals to 3, b equals to 4 and c equals to minus 2. This is the calculate operation for previous question. Go to mode and select the simultaneous equations with 4 variable ax plus by plus cz is equal to d format. With that, you can fill up the figures. The first equation is 1a plus 2b plus equals to 11, as I remember. Yes, 11. So therefore you can put 1, 2, 0 and 11, since there is no value for c. With that, if you do the substitution as shown in the video, you obtain the answer for a as 3, b is 4 and c is -2. With these figures for a, b and c, you can write 11x squared plus 14x plus 5 over 2x into x plus 1 squared as 3 over 2x plus 1 plus 4 over x plus 1 minus 2 over x plus 1 squared. If you come up with this example, you can understand that we need to find the partial fractions for 2x squared plus 2x minus 18 over x into x minus 3 squared. The repeated term is x minus 3 squared. Therefore, you can break up the partial fraction terms as a over x plus b over x minus 3 plus c over x minus 3 squared. With that, if you take the LCM, you can write 2x squared plus 2x minus 18 over x into x minus 3 squared equals to a times of x minus 3 squared plus b times of x into x minus 3 plus cx over x into x minus 3 squared. Since the denominators are same, you can equate 2x squared plus 2x minus 18 equals to a over x minus 3 squared plus b over x into x minus 3 plus cx. If we use a method of equating coefficients, you will obtain the answer as 2x squared plus 2x minus 18 is equals to a times of expansion of bracket x minus 3 squared, that is x squared minus 6x plus 9, plus b times of x into x minus 3 expansion is x squared minus 3x plus cx. Then if you isolate x squared terms, that would be a plus b x squared, and x terms if you isolate, you get the answers minus 6a minus 3b plus c. Then constant terms turn up to 9a. So simply you can equate the constant terms. We can get minus 18 equals to 9a, that is a equals to minus 2. If you consider x squared terms, because I have selected x squared because that is only b. In terms of a and b, we know the answer for a for the moment. Therefore, you can easily obtain the answer for b as 4 by equating the coefficients of x squared. Then if you take the x terms, 2 equals to minus 6a minus 3b plus c. With that, you know the answers for a and b. You can find the answer as c equals to 2. Therefore, we can write the expression 2x squared plus 2x minus 18 over x into x squared minus 2 as minus 2 over x plus 4 over x minus 3 plus 2 over x minus 3 squared. Hope you have understood the contents in this video. There is a video with additional text for you to try. I will put the link in the description box and will pop up at the top as a suggestion video. Hopefully you have enjoyed this video. If you like this, please put a big thumbs up.